Welcome back, sixth graders. So for this pop art piece, what I wanted you to do was watch those two videos about what pop art is and then why Andy Warhol was such a influential artist. And you know, basically pop art is about pop culture and popular culture, which we're still in today, you know. And Andy Warhol was for sure a very unusual character in the art scene. And not all artists are like that, but he really became famous for being quite unique. And then bringing in commercial art to kind of like the museum or gallery art world, to the fine art world. And so every artist that I've always shown you, you know, if I've had you in kindergarten, which a lot of you I've had all the way up until sixth grade, I'm showing you that artist because they did something that changed the way that we look at art forever. You know, they did something new and innovative, and other people went, hey, we like this, and we want to create art with similar ideas but our own style. And so the pop art piece, I think, is a good one to do at home too, because I feel like it's I think you get a pretty good connection with popular culture right now as well. So what I did, my favorite food is coffee. And my favorite beverage is coffee. I just love coffee all the time, every day. And Caribou is a Minnesota-based company. So to me, this was an obvious choice, what I was going to do. I try to go to Caribou at least once a week. It just makes me happy. And so I chose this image. Yes, it is an image I got off the internet, for sure. Someone that there was an artist, I guess I didn't research it, but there was an artist that came up with this brand. When Caribou came out at first, this symbol was different, and I really like how simplified the symbol is right now. So I chose this for a reason. What you're going to need to do for your piece is choose something that you feel connected to somehow. Coffee was an easy one for me. And I want you to like reproduce it like Andy Warhol would have done on a piece of paper. So the steps that I did for this assignment look like this. I got my image and I blew it up the way that I wanted to. And yes, I have a printer at my house, and you do not have to have a printer. You can look at your device and you can draw from your device at home, whatever kind of device you have. That's totally awesome. For this lesson, though, it's easier for me to show you this way, and I like working on a hard copy. So the first thing I did, because pop art is so connected with strong, powerful shapes and simplified images, so not a lot of detail necessarily, I'm just going to go through, and I'm using my Sharpie right now, so you can see my lines better, because I'm learning better through this distance learning thing. I'm just going to go through and capture all the really powerful shapes, because what I see with this whipped cream, especially because I'm looking over here at my computer, and I'm looking over here at my image, the whipped cream has a lot of nice soft values in them. I'm going to try to simplify that, and that's hard because our eyes are used to seeing all that detail. So I'm just going to go through and make it simple shapes. So I'm outlining those shapes so they become obvious and powerful for me, so when I actually work on my painting and my drawing, that I don't have a lot of those extra details happening. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make my chocolate sauce, yummy chocolate sauce. I actually like the chocolate chips better, but chocolate sauce is fine. Go through and trace all these. And then my whipped cream, I am going to just trace some of the highlights and not all of them. So I can see some light areas here. It might be hard to see in my camera, but trust me, there's some light parts there. Just trace out those areas that you want to capture. And then when you come down to here, of course, trace out the symbol. Now, it is important to get a balanced artwork, and honestly, the challenging thing about working in pop art is that because you're working with simple shapes, your simple shapes have to be powerful. Like if I go on a piece of paper and I draw a circle, you don't know if that's a soccer ball, a basketball, a rock, you know, a hula hoop, you don't have no idea what it is. So on here, you have to really be distinct and specific about your shapes. They have to be powerful, and that's part of commercial and branding. The Nike swoosh, the Under Armour, all that stuff that we looked at with Frank Big Bear and the symbols that artists have come up with, graphic design artists have come up with, that's what we're doing in this piece as well. When I'm done with it, excuse me about my power cord today, when I'm done with it, it's going to look something like this when I redraw it on a piece of paper. So what I did is I captured my ideas over here, I drove my eyes to just connect with all the strong images, and then I redrew it larger on this sheet of paper. And this is where I'm going to do my painting. So this is step one of the drawing. Very simple shapes. It almost looks easy because there's not a lot of shapes to fill in. But this transfer of information is a brain stretch. It is challenging. I'm just going to let you know that I often do this differently. In years past, I can show you this image that I took of my niece. Actually, I had my niece as a student a few years ago, and I loved it. So I took her photo in class, took everyone's photo in class, and I asked her if I could use hers for an example. And I was able to put it in my computer and then simplify it into just simple shapes, which unless you have a program to do that, it doesn't work. But I was able to do that, and then I was able to capture all those simple shapes and details. And I know her face looks distorted, just like Marilyn Monroe's did when Andy Warhol created her piece, but she's still recognizable. It's still distinct. So that's another thing that I've done before. So I'm saying that you can for sure do a portrait if you're a portrait person, and I think that there's students in class that would like that challenge. You can do an iconic image like this, everyone's going to Caribou now kind of thing. So you choose, and then draw it on a piece of paper. I'm thinking the piece of paper should be 9 by 12 or larger in order for you to get the full effect of what we're doing. Okay, once you've done that, watch the next video and I'll show you how to paint. Thanks, friends. Bye.